No one likes a busybody. But has the Bible principle of love for neighbor become too old-fashioned?
Okay, boys, let's hop to it now. Pick up the cans and trash so we can hose down the pavement. A pretty day like this will have lots of wash jobs and want to lose out on any.
You sure you ain't missed something? I want to know all the things I'm not going to do. Man, you drive a hard bargain. Why don't you get off my back? You must think you're some stuff ordering us around. Yeah, why don't you clean it up? We didn't mess it up. Who needs washing cars? People ought to wash their own. I wish someday someone would set my old man straight. Who does he think he is anyway?
Joe, I'm sorry, but I sure can't agree with you. I couldn't help but overhear the conversation when I drove in. Tell me, what are you trying to prove? That's your father. Why should you try to hurt him? Ever start to think about the way he feels? He wants a clean station because it means more business and a better reputation.
Look, Jim, you don't understand how he's always on our back.
I can see how hunchback you are. Seriously, there are a lot of boys who'd like to work here on Saturdays, but you owe your father a lot in life.
Yeah, but
Now, is he really bad? Why, everybody in the neighborhood likes him. He's really a good guy, always helping people out. You fellows aren't really so bad either, so what is all this?
Other guys have off. They don't have to work weekends and they don't get bossed around. You're considered funny if you just take things. It's yes, sir business and all.
You consider me funny? You're
No.
different. Why?
Well, people expect you to be proper.
People should expect everyone to be proper. A man has to have...
Showing respect for proper authority seems difficult for many young people. There seems to be a sort of resentment against it. Even when parents are sincerely interested in their children and try to understand them, there's often a gap that develops between their thinking. But if an encouraging word spoken by a good friend at the right time can help fill that gap, isn't that the neighborly thing to do?
My dad taught me it's good to have concern for one another, and I believe that. Wow, I'd better run. My mom's waiting. We've got things to do as Dad today. We'll see you fellas around. Hey, and don't leave any of those cans.
Bye, Jim. So long, Jim. Well, come on. What are you waiting for? So long.
Jim. Say, Jim, what's your secret formula for raising boys anyway?
Why ask me?
Well, the other day, young Jim was in here, and he really gave my boys a going over. They were kind of sassy, and I guess young Jim doesn't go for that kind of talk. Anyway, Joe started beefing to Jim, and Jim just had to set him straight. It did my boys good. You know, they always like Jim. Sort of respect him. I do, too. He's a good boy, polite, thoughtful. You know, always calls me mister.
Good.
Well, anyway, he's a joy to have around. He's certainly not what you find in so many young people today. I'm really glad he had enough interest in my boys to talk to them.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way about it, Charlie. I wouldn't want Jim to interfere in anything if he weren't asked.
Oh, no, don't
But as for raising children, you know, I used to have a lot of trouble with young Jim, too.
No, kid.
But we began to study the Bible, and Jehovah's Witnesses helped us to see that the Bible puts the responsibility for our children on us parents. And now that young Jim has become one of Jehovah's too, well, I can reason with him. Of course, as parents, why, we need a lot of help, too.
You're telling me?
And companionship with one's vital today. And I've found that Bible discussions, shared with the whole family regularly, has helped to bring us close together. There's so many things to talk about. Principles that are taught become deep-rooted. And, you know, Bible principles don't take freedom away from the young people. In fact, it probably gives them more freedom.
Why do you say that?
Well, they feel more secure because they know how far the rules of life extend. The disrespect you find in people today, young and old, stems from their insecurity, not knowing proper Bible principles. So they feel they have to prove themselves somehow. When they are secure, Why, they can afford to be more generous then with their time as well as with their manners. I know that young Jim was glad to help out your boys the other day. And it's good to see that they appreciate it. Say, why don't you come over to our home tomorrow after you close up? It's our regular night for getting together as a family and talking about these very things.
Well, I think I will.
Good.
In the fast pace of our generation, the gap between the thinking of father and son widens with every decade. It's too great to bridge without a controlling standard that both can accept and respect. The Bible provides this standard. It served successive generations for over 3,000 years. Can our generation be so different that the Bible is no longer adequate?